Hello, fighters, survivors, and thrivers. Welcome to the Cancer Show. It is Super Fun Friday. Let's have some fun. So, as you know, I love idioms. I love phrases and like word mixology. So, I want to go through how many? Let's see. How many are there here? Let me scroll down. 14 commonly used phrases and the origins. Now, I found these on ReadersDigest.com. I know that's shocking. I actually Googled it, and this is one of the ones that popped up, and it's the best one. I mean, there's so many phrases. There's a movie. If anybody of you can remember which movie this is, please comment below. So it's Tom Cruise, and he goes to a newsstand, like an outside newsstand every day to pick up his paper. And he and the gentleman who is working at the newsstand, an older gentleman, they would always have this exchange. I think it was a newsstand. I think it was getting a newspaper. Maybe it was getting coffee or something. Maybe it was... I don't remember. Tom Cruise, I'm pretty sure it was Tom Cruise. And then this great exchange. It was super great. I'm trying to remember the movie so I can like post that clip because I just love that. Every day they would just like, exchange sayings, phrases, idioms. So yeah, I just think they're super fun. So hopefully this will put a smile on your face and learn a little bit because I did. All right, number 1. Oh, here comes the dogs. Dog one puppy, and one mother. Are you guys going to come in? Every time I'm doing a live, they want to come and join me. They do not like it when I do live without them. Okay. Fly off the handle. So what do we think of when it says, oh, they flew off the handle, or I'm going to fly off the handle. That means you're going to get angry and upset, right? Have a hissy fit. So in the days before mass merchandising, poorly fastened axe heads would fly off while they were in use. The result was dangerous, you think? Hence why the phrase is used to describe risky behavior with unpredictable results. That is fabulous. I love that. Fly off the handle. Hilarious. Poorly fastened axe heads would fly off while they were in use. Yeah, not a good idea. I hope they fix that pretty quickly. In the days before mass merchandising. Oh, can you imagine if that happened now? Oh, God, there'd be some kind of lawsuit for sure. At least here in America. Okay. Steal someone's thunder. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. See, when like, oh, they just stole my thunder. Like, this is a perfect one. It's when somebody is celebrating their wedding. They're at the ceremony or whatever, the reception, and then somebody else gets down on their knee and proposes. That is not the time to do that, people. Do not do that. Do not take away the attention from the bride and groom that are celebrating their wedding. I mean, there's so many examples of stealing someone's thunder, but let's listen to what happened in the early 1700s. English dramatist John Dennis invented a device that imitated the sound of thunder for a play he was working on. Wow, that first sentence is pretty awesome in and of itself. John Dennis invented a device. This is in the 1700s, people. That imitated the sound of thunder for a play he was working on. He should be getting a medal for that. Okay, going on. The play flopped. Soon after, Dennis noted that another play in the same theater was using his sound effects device. Ha! He angrily exclaimed, "That is my thunder! By God, the villains will play my thunder, but not my play." The story got around London, and the idiom was born. Awesome. That is my thunder. By God, the villains will play my thunder, but not my play. I love it. Okay. Chew the fat. Chew the fat. Well, that sounds really like slang. Hey man, you chew the fat. Okay, originally a sailor's term. This phrase refers to the days before refrigeration, when ships carried food that wouldn't spoil. Gee, the foods that wouldn't spoil these days would be like Fruit Loops, chips, all kinds of chips. What other things that I think would just Pop-Tarts would just last forever. All those foods that have so many preservatives. They're terrible, terrible for you. Like those Cheetos, super bad. And what are those hot ones that I do not let my children, every time they bring them in, I take them away. What are they called? Super, super hot and spicy. Can't remember right now, but I always throw them away when they bring them in the house. I'm like, there's not allowed. They literally burn your colon, okay? They literally burn your colon. So many things could survive, going on a ship these days for a long time that would not spoil. Okay, so one of them, back in the time of the sailors, when refrigeration, they didn't have refrigeration. One of them was salted pork skin, which consisted largely of fat. Sailors would only eat it if all other food was gone, and they often complained as they did. I guess so. Does not sound appetizing to me. This idle chatter became known as chewing the fat. So, when people are like complaining, they're like chewing the fat. Oh, I like that. Super cool. White elephant. Aha! White elephant. Legend has it, kings of Siam, now Thailand, used to give actual white elephants to people they wanted to punish. Oh, punish me! I want a white elephant. I mean, not to like keep in my yard or anything, but I would pay for the white elephant to be out in its natural habitat where it should be. That's right, you heard me. That's where it should be, not in circuses. Okay, don't get me started. Yes, the elephants were valuable and respected, but that also meant they were expensive to take care of. So the kings hoped the present would drive the recipient into financial ruin. How cruel. Now, of course, a white elephant exchange is meant for useless, though probably cheaper, gifts. So when you have a white elephant Christmas party, you bring a gift like a Chia Pet or something silly. Nowadays, I think it's changed and then it's not so silly. I guess it could be like an ugly Christmas sweater, but white elephant, now there's usually like a price cap. And then, okay, so my friend, she had a yearly Christmas party. So the first year we went, or I was invited to it. It's like her friends from like when she grew up. So it was a gorgeous group of Persian women, young women, and actually had just finished treatment. And my friend was my hospitalist. She was my doctor. So we're best friends now, all these years later. But that's how I met her, when I was in the hospital. Backwards blessing, people. And so she invited me to this party, and I was like still kind of like, weak, still like trying to get, back into the groove. But I went to the party, and so I thought that it was really like a white elephant situation. So I put some toys in from, like, my children were really young then. So like some funny toys, like Silly Putty, like Dora the Explorer coloring book, or I don't actually remember, Slinky, and like some candy, some Razzles or whatever. Yeah, so nobody else did that. Everybody got like really, really good gifts, and I was like, shame. But it wasn't fair because they said white elephant, but that wasn't their version of white elephant. So I was kind of like, I like put all this like fun tissue and, decorations to make it all festive, but everybody's getting other really good gifts, so nobody wanted my gift. Sad. So the next year, yeah, that's right, I went to Chanel. Chanel's my favorite brand, especially for a lip gloss, and I bought a lip gloss. And the lip glosses are like $30-$40 depending on the lip gloss. And I wrapped it, and then I put it in box after box after box, and so you had to unwrap it. And so they got the Chanel lip gloss, and it was like, everybody was screaming, everybody's so happy about it, so excited. And I think it got stolen like 2 or 3 times, because when you get a gift, if you don't want the gift, then you can just go steal somebody else's gift. That's kind of like how you play the game. So anyways, I have a great photo of that. I have to find it and post that for you on this live, because that was so much fun. Okay, so anyways, white elephant. Yeah, he gave them a white elephant. Can you imagine having like, oh, here's a white elephant. Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, like King Kong. It's a little puppy banging. George, I'm on a live. Come here. Come here. Come see. Oh, come see everybody. Oh. Say, hey, I'm on a live. Say, I'm on a live. Oh, it's not playtime. It's sleep time. It's playtime. I mean, it's sleep time. Mwah. Okay. Oh, you're going to eat me? Okay, you have to go down there first. You have to go down there, and then we'll play after. By and large. By and large? I don't even know what. I don't use that by and large. By and large. By and large. By and large, blah, blah, blah. Fill in the blank. Okay. Sailors, back to the sailors, were the first to refer to things by and large. The first part phrase refers to the nautical term full and by, meaning a boat was traveling into the wind. On the other hand, large means the wind is coming from behind. So by and large then would mean the wind is coming from any direction, giving rise to the current meaning of in general. By and large. That's interesting. Sailors were the first to refer to things by and large. The first part of the phrase, the nautical term full and by, meaning a boat was traveling into the wind. On the other hand, large means the wind is coming from behind. So into the wind and wind from behind. By and large then would mean the wind is coming from any direction, giving rise to the current meaning of in general. In general, no matter what you do, the ice cream will melt if you don't lick it? Okay, I don't. I'm just, thinking out loud. Okay, close but no cigar. I say this one. I like this one. Close but no cigar. Okay, carnival games nowadays give out stuffed animals and prizes. But in the late 19th century, the games were targeted to adults, not kids. Instead of getting a giant teddy bear, winners might get a cigar. If they almost won, but didn't earn that prize, they'd be close, but no cigar. Guys, do you have to wrestle underneath me? Oh my goodness. By the 1930s, the phrase extended beyond fairgrounds to everyday close shots. I love it. Close but no cigar. Is that interesting? All right. Everybody out. Oh, everybody out. Go see. What is that? Go see. Nice. It's a trick for your dog to get them to go see. Oh, it didn't work. Dang. Okay. Close but no cigar. Once in a blue moon. A blue moon is a real astronomical phenomenon, referring to the second full moon in the same month. It's a rare occurrence, usually just once every 2.7 years. 2.7. Okay, which is how the phrase came to be. Usually a blue moon just looks gray or white like any other full moon, but on even rare occasions, the moon actually does seem to change color. During volcanic eruptions or forest fires, the oils in the smoke can make the moon appear blue, according to NASA. The oils in the smoke, can make the moon appear blue, according to NASA. Interesting. I didn't know that there were oils in smoke. Did you guys? Okay, let's see. Maybe they'll stay in. That is really, I did not know that. It's kind of like when there's a fire, like forest fire, and like the sunsets are so beautiful, so amazing. Unfortunately, there's fires. That's not a good thing, but the sunsets are just like breathtaking. Once in a blue moon. How many of you have seen a blue moon? Have you experienced a blue moon? I believe I have. I believe I have. Maybe not like bright, bright blue. Bluish. Okay. Under the weather. So under the weather means that you're not feeling well, and if you are going through treatment right now, you are probably under the weather most of the time. Which is not funny, but true, right? It's a cycle. It's a cycle, and you are going to get through it. So don't worry. Don't worry. One foot in front of the other. Remember, one foot in front of the other. Under the weather. Originally, sailors. Wow, the sailors. They made up a lot of these phrases. They're like, phrase sailors, idiom sailors. Oh no, that doesn't sound right. Saying sailors. Okay, well, I'll work on that. Sailors use the phrase under the weather. Bow. Yes. Bow's the one on your head. Bow and bow. Under the weather, bow, referring to the side of the ship that would get the brunt of the wind during storms. To avoid getting seasick, when the waves got rough, they'd bunker down in their cabins, literally under that bad weather, to let the storm pass. Literally under that bad weather. Oh my gosh, I love that. They'd bunker down in their cabins, literally under that bad weather, to let the storm pass. Under the weather. So when we say we're under the weather, I guess it could be anything. It could just be how you're feeling. But anyways, regardless, you're under the weather to let the storm pass. Yes, Cancer is a storm. It is one heck of a storm, I tell you. Whew. It's more like a tornado. Yeah. Not fun. Okay, give the cold shoulder. Well, we're all good at that, right? When you give somebody the cold shoulder when you're mad at them. That's like torture. That's like relationship torture, right? I'm just going to give them the cold shoulder. It doesn't work. Believe me, it doesn't work. Surprisingly, this doesn't just refer to coldly turning your back on someone. Etymologists think the phrase originated from medieval etiquette. After a feast, hosts in England would subtly hosts in England would subtly, there's a B in it, but it's actually subtly, that's what it is. You see, that's where like my Cancer brain kicks in. Would subtly signal that the meal was over and it was time for guests to leave by serving a slice, like a cold slice of pork, mutton, or beef shoulder. Give them the cold shoulder. We want them to leave. You're serving a cold slice of pork, mutton, or beef shoulder. Does not sound very good to me. That's what they do at the end of the night. Interesting. Let the cat out of the bag. Oh, for that means like you told something or you shared something or said something you're not supposed to, like a big secret, like either something really, really good that you like, somebody got engaged, you're not supposed to say it, or somebody's pregnant, you're not supposed to say it, or somebody got, won a medal, or whatever it is. You get the cat out of the bag, or it could be a bad thing too. You're not supposed to let that cat out of the bag. Okay. Who would even put a cat in a bag? Hopefully no one, people. The answer may lie in medieval markets where people used to sell piglets tied in bags for farmers to carry home. Okay, that's horrible. Where people used to sell piglets tied in bags for farmers to carry home. Poor little piglets. A shady dealer might swap the piglet in the sack with a less expensive animal, such as a cat. So when you let the cat out of the bag, you were exposing the con to everyone. I'm so glad we don't do that anymore. We never should put the cat in the bag. And if the cat is in the bag, let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. That's really, really interesting. I wonder how much a pig costs back then and a cat costs. Have to figure that one out. Okay, the 7-year itch. Before the phrase became associated with Marilyn Monroe's iconic skirt, in the 7-year itch felt with the 7-year itch felt much worse than a playful subway breeze. The term originally referred to scabies, an itchy infection caused by mites burrowing underneath a person's skin. Its 7-year moniker referred to how long the bugs could linger. Yuck! Oh my gosh. Scabies. Yes, an itchy infection caused by mites, little bugs burrowing underneath a person's skin, and it could last for 7 years. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk about the Marilyn Monroe reference. So, the 7-year itch is a 1955 American romantic comedy film based on a 1952 3-act play with the same name by George Axelrod. The film was co-written and directed by Billy Wilder and stars Marilyn Monroe and Tom Ewell, reprising his Broadway role from that play. It contains one of the most notable images of the 20th century. Monroe standing on a subway grate as her white dress is blown upwards by a passing train. So, the phrase, which refers to declining interest in a monogamous relationship after 7 years of marriage, has been used by psychologists. Yes, so the 7-year itch. Yes, that's right. The phrase, which refers to declining interest in a monogamous relationship after 7 years of marriage, has been used by psychologists. That's right, 7-year itch. When you've been married for 7 years, you get the itch. I guess a lot of people get divorced at the time or have problems. I hope they don't. I mean, I hope they stay together. But yeah, I'm sure everybody has seen that that pose when her dress is flying up, and she actually has little shorts on. It's not anything compared to what celebrities wear now with barely any clothing, but it was just so sensual and so playful and so inviting and so wondering what's going on. What's going on? That skirt's going up. What's going on under that skirt? So anyways, that's where that came from. But the original phrase was about mites. Okay, gadzooks, zounds, egod, cripes. Okay, so I know cripes or limey or no, cripes. I don't know. These silly exclamations called minced oaths were originally Bible-friendly alternatives to swearing. Maybe I will use these ones because I don't swear. The idea was, usually I rarely swear. The idea, it has to be like something, okay, never mind. The idea was that if you shouted gadzooks instead of God's hooks, a reference to the nails from the crucifixion, you could stub your toe without running afoul on the third commandment. Other minced oath, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. Yes, thou shalt not take the Lord's name in vain. That's why I say gosh. I don't say God. I say God. Oh gosh. Oh God. Okay. George, just a minute, please. Other minced oaths, gosh, God, I just said that, and jeepers, Jesus, oh, I didn't know that, jeepers creepers. Christians have been shouting gadzooks since the 1690s. I've never heard anybody say that. Have you guys? Gadzooks since the 1690s. I'm trying to say the 1960s, but it's the 1690s. Gadzooks. Okay, I'm going to add that. Blood is thicker than water. 100%. You probably think this means you should always put family ahead of friends. Yes. In fact, it originally may have meant the opposite. The full maxim was, The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. With covenant referring to friendship. In other words, it was your friends, in other words, it was your friends, your blood brothers, if you will, who were the ones who stuck with you through thick and thin. So, okay, baby, okay. Come on in. So basically, this kind of goes with friends are the family you pick yourself or you choose. Friends are the family that you choose for yourself. Or friends are the family, or your family of friends. Friends are the family that you pick. Okay. I know it's something like that. I did not know that. I always thought of it as the first part, which is blood, that your family comes first, is thicker than water. The full maxim was the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. With covenant referring to friendship. In other words, it was your friends, your blood brothers, if you will, who were with you through thick and thin. Okay. Till the cows come home. So that means they're not coming home. You're gonna wait for her until the cows come home. Or you can wait for him, or that's not going to happen until the cows come home, which means never. Clearly, this has to do with cattle curfews, right? It sort of does. Cows were often milked in their barns at night, making that task one of the last on a farmer's to-do list. But let's hope he wouldn't wait forever to do the job the way the phrase implies now. The expression has been around since at least the late 1500s and is likely to continue until, well, you know, till the cows come home. Oh my gosh. So that was the last chore the farmer had to do on his list. But let's hope he wouldn't wait forever to do the job the way the phrase implies, until the cows come home. I did not know that either. I love it. Oh no. Oh, that's it. Oh, we're going to have to wait until the cows come home for another awesome list of phrases and idioms. That was fun. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Okay, so if you guys remember the clip from that movie that I was talking about with Tom Cruise, please post it before. And there was something else that I was going to post a picture of. I'm going to have to go through it, but I will find that picture and I will post it. And please comment. Let me know your favorite phrase, like 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I don't know. I can hear my dad saying that one all the time. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm like, why not? That'd be great. If it just grew on trees, we just pick it. There's just so many of them. I just love them. They're super fun. So we'll probably do this on another Friday night. Okay, so say it with me. Daily mantra. Oh, I am healthy. I'm happy. I'm whole. I am healthy. I'm happy. I am whole. One more time. Come on, fighter survivors and thrivers. I am healthy. I am happy. Yes. I am whole. Yes, you are. The thriving starts now.